Good evening, friends. For last 2 days, we have had some of the best speeches on geological aspects, especially the maps on stamps, etc. And today we are going to visit a person who has worked from as a geologist, archaeologist, and a good photographer. And now he's an expert in archaeological rock cut caves. So we are going to hear from him, and this will be one of the best lectures that we have heard on rock cut caves. I would request Nicole Madam from Goa University to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Srikant Jadhav.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another enriching day of Earth Science lectures. And today it's my great privilege to introduce the speaker, Dr. Srikant Suresh Jadhav. So he is a renowned field archaeologist and expert in art and architecture, particularly rock art architecture of India. He currently serves as adjunct professor at Somaya Vidya Vihar University and he is a visiting faculty at St. Xavier's College, Mumbai. He has over 20 years of teaching experience in postgraduate programs. Dr. Jadhav completed his PhD on geoarchitecture of some of the Western Indian caves from Deccan College, Pune in 2002. He has had a long and an illustrious career with the Department of Archaeology, Deccan College, serving as Superintendent of Excavations and later as Deputy Director of the Directorate of Archaeology and Museums, Government of Maharashtra. He has supervised 8 PhD students, guided research projects, and contributed to numerous archaeological excavations, including a decade long focus at the early historic site of Junnar in Maharashtra. Dr. Jadhav's meticulous research and photographic documentation of the Ajanta caves dating back to 1974 has earned him the reputation of walking encyclopedia of these iconic rock cut monuments. So he has also collaborated closely with late Professor Walter Spink from the University of Michigan for over 2 decades, conducting site seminars and training scholars and students from India and the United States. His expertise spans fieldwork, archaeological excavations, and rock cut architectural studies, and he has authored 24 scholarly papers, delivered 142 guest lectures, presented research internationally, and contributed forwards to several books on rock cut caves. Dr. Jadhav's work has taken him to numerous countries, including Cambodia, Indonesia, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, South Korea, Italy, France, and Spain. And he has been recognized with associate fellowships, foreign travel grants, and memberships in several prestigious societies related to art history and archaeology. We are indeed fortunate to have him with us today, and I'm confident that his insights into rock cut caves will inspire and enrich all of us. So please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Dr. Srikant Suresh Jadhav. Sir, the stage is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Shekwarya ji. Thank you very much, doctor. Actually, this was too much of an exaggeration. But then I'm just a grad. I did my graduation from Wadia College. In short, I'm more into art history and archaeology. But my friends and teachers like Vartak sir, Khan sir, Syed, and many friends like Sudha Vadadi and Nataraj also, they help me even in difficulties because I'm not an eminent geologist. But one thing I'm proud to say that I'm a student of Professor Rajguru. So I understood much from him and my friends, teachers, and all that. So I'll be confined more to rocket caves and I mean to say little bit of geology. So this is a picture taken from the caves, Ajanta caves, the ravine you can see, plus you can see the river there, which is an additional boon. So I'll talk about that later on. But one thing one should understand that the importance of Deccan and its development of Buddhist and Brahminical cave temples is supreme in Indian context. It's provided priceless legacy of a magnificent series of rock cut caves in India. Okay, so rock cut architecture has been studied by several scholars, particularly from the 18th century onwards, and it is 50 years of time. I can name some of them, an eminent scholar like M.N. Deshpande, Debla Mitra, Vidya Dehejia, Marilyn Lees, Dr. Suresh Jadhav, Walter Spink, Nagaraj. Walter Spink focused on Ajanta for more than 60 years. So what was the aspects like, the history of the site, the chronology of the site, the inscriptions, the architectural development and sculptures, and also cultural study done by Professor Dhaulikar sir. But now geology, little bit people have done very less, you can say. It was for the first time Professor Walter Spink in 1987. So he tried to study the sculptures and architectural features from the geological point of view, where he wrote only one article, Flaws in Buddhist Iconology. He means to say that how iconography will change because of rock. So we'll come to that slowly. And lastly, but not least, but Karmarkar, B.M. Karmarkar and his student Megha Deshmukh, they did a lot of work on geology, particularly at Ellora, the geological features on the carving of Ellora caves. So they have done a detailed geological studies and ignored many intricate aspects of cave architecture, but their conclusions depended more on geology rather than anthropogenic factors, like that is human factor. So let us go slightly. There are about 80 slides. Let me go as fast as possible. So Western India, out of 1200 caves, 700 are mostly in western part of India, that is present state of Maharashtra. So it occupies a definite place of importance in India. Okay, so uh, it appears politically in space and time. So, but then how did it start? Like it started where it starts from Barabar Hills. We'll come to that slowly. But though it went on for 1500, it was not continuous. The earliest caves can be dated to 272 BC, that is in Bihar. I'll show the pictures of that. So once it gained momentum, it came from Magda to Orissa and then Andhra Pradesh and goes to Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, and then mostly western part of India, that is present state of Maharashtra, you see. But zenith, it reaches zenith in the historic period, not prior to that. So rock architecture has been practiced in many countries, you see. But what happens here is that the facade is very good. Facade is the outer surface of the hill or the mountain, whatever it may be. But then, I mean to say, here inside, if you go, they're very plain, and there'll be only tombs, like, okay, so particularly in Egypt and Assyria, by the Greeks in Lycia, and the Romans at Petra also. So but these caves are much earlier to Indian context. Okay, so let me show you all fast. So this is from Egypt, you see. So old Middle Kingdom, what you see, the facade is excellent, no doubt. But when you go inside, it is almost plain, no decorative motifs, what you see. So from the aesthetic character, if you compare, so they are far behind what you see. Indian caves are much far better from aesthetic character, you can see. Okay. So here what we have is Buddhist caves, we have Brahminical caves, that is called Hindu caves, and then we have Jain caves also. And later on, so we have the Nath Panthis also, what we have. It goes up to 12th, 13th century AD. It looks like honeycomb structure. It looks beautiful from exterior, but as I told you, inside it will be very plain. In the Lycian we have that this one also honeycomb structure what you have. Okay, and then this is Persepolis. I mean to say Nashke Rustam, where the king Darius, his tomb is there out of. But you cannot even climb up. You can see these people down. You see that you can get you come to know the height of the hill. You can't even climb up. But suppose if you go inside, it's just a tomb, nothing else. The first chisel and hammer used, so far known, we can say, is at Dholavira. That's a Harappan site. This rock cut reservoir at Dholavira, you have chisel marks all the way in the hard rock, if you see, and then you have a structure, brick structure you have on top of that. So far known, you can say, which can be dated to 2500 BC. We call Sirka. Sirka means approximately. So even we have in Kerala, you have rock cut chambers just below the surface of the earth, the hard rock below the surface. So they stayed below. That is called underground, we can say, but in the hard rock, there were rooms for them to dwell. So the first cave, as you said, in India, dated so far known cave, you can say, is at Barabar. So at the same time, one should also know that the height of the hill one should take into consideration, and also, I mean to say, uh, the outcrop one should understand. Okay, so and secondly, the whatever available rock is there. For example, granite, we have caves in sandstone, we have in laterite, and we have different varieties of basalt. We always call basalt, but there are many varieties of basalt. So this is Lomas Rishi cave, uh, done during the great Emperor Ashoka and his grandson, and it dates to 272 BC because we have an inscription there. So it's called as absolute dating. We can do absolute dating, and most of the cases you do relative dating, that is comparative from the style. So one can trace the development right from the origin till its climax, that is even come to Ellora. right from 3rd century BC until you can say 7th, 8th century AD, you can trace the whole thing. Here, what is the fun here is like, they were not rock cutters by profession. They were working in wood, it seems, because inside, if you see inside here, I mean to say here, what you see here is they have constructed a hut actually. It looks like a hut. Okay. So, and then you have because granite has got a lot of silica. So you can see your reflection. I don't know whether you can see my cursor. So here you can see the reflection. Okay. What was the purpose of making it smooth during Ashokan time? It is strange to know. But Ashoka, he wanted a very hard material which will last for thousands of years. Prior to which he constructed many palaces and then monolithic pillars as well. But polishing was one of the criteria. The reason of which I don't know whether for beautification, very difficult to say. It has got a vaulted roof and very plain from inside. Since the inscription is there, we can date it thoroughly, 272 BC. Now, coming right from Barabar Hill, that is in Bihar, we come straight to Maharashtra, that is Bhaja. Bhaja is the second oldest, you can say, in India, you can say. No doubt, because we have, again, inscriptional evidences, and one can trace the development here. The arch is wide open to the sky. You can trace the arches, the pillars, and the ground plan. This changes from time to time. These are the viharas for the monks, and this is a chaitya, which is a prayer hall. Okay, let us go slightly fast. So what are the rock types one should understand? That Ajanta, we have amygdalal, vesicular, basalt. Badami, we have Kaladgi sandstone. At Bagh, that is in Madhya Pradesh, we have Lamita beds. That is the shales. Elephanta is again we have compact and amygdalal basalt. Ellora, we have compact and amygdalal both. So I would like to tell my students, this is for the students basically, that rock is not homogeneous throughout. It is heterogeneous. I give them an example of when you cook white rice, when you cook rice, only plain rice, that we can call it as homogeneous. But when we make a biryani, it becomes a heterogeneous. These simple words I try to explain them. Jogeshwari is volcanic tufa, tufaceous rock with boulders, which is in Mumbai. In Mumbai, I've taken 5 caves from Mumbai. That is Yogeshwari, Mandapeshwar, Kaneri, Elephant, and Kondivte. These are 5. And then Aurangabad, Pitalkhora, and Ajanta. Only 8 sites have been taken today. Kondivte, that is volcanic tufa and boulders. Mandapeshwar, which is a Hindu caves. We call it as Brahminical. It's a Tachitic-classic basalt. Okay. So these are the areas which I have taken. And in both contrasting region, one will be in semi-arid zone, group A, Aurangabad will be in semi-arid zone, where the rainfall is very less. And then we have Mumbai group, which is humid climate. Okay, so these two groups have been taken into consideration. So this is a general view of Ajanta taken from the viewpoint. So I tell my students that you should visit in different seasons, like when you after summer, you see in the month of May, this picture has been taken. And one more important thing I would like to tell here is that when they came first, they took the central scarp of the valley, I mean to say the gorge here. They took the central portion of the scarp. And I also give an example, like earlier days, in cinema theaters there were no numbers for this. There were no seat numbers, so people used to go and take the best place. Likewise, they also did the same thing. Like they first came, that is the Hinana caves. 5 caves, cave number 8, 9, 10, 12, and 15A. Those 5 are the early caves during the Shatavana period, contemporary to the Shatavanas. Now, why caves are not made on the upper portion? Because people say, some scholars, some art historians, you can say, because the river, to fetch water from the river. But you have water systems. There are about 10 water systems, and then I'll come to water systems later on. But here there are very close and open joints. Sometimes there are closed joints and open joints, and because the trees, the joints are getting open now. Okay, so then the later 25 caves are during in the 5th century. The first 5 they belong to 150 BC to 100 AD. The rest 25 in the 5th century, that is Mayana phase. I'll not go into the history of that. So, but now you say why caves are not made here. If you go to Kerala, Kerala caves is right on top. There's no river there, but you have water systems. Okay, I tell my students you should go after the monsoons. This is how it looks during summer, and in monsoon it will look this way. So one should see monuments in different seasons. That is what I say. Now you come to the yes, you come to Mumbai group, like you have different volcanic Mahabaleshwar formation. So the Geological Survey of India has mapped around Ajanta as upper Ratangad formation. Okay, and mainly they comprise of compound flows of apparite to feldspar also, and falgonite type also. So olivine is very little known. When you see like microscopic thin section, olivine is rarely found. So emitter basalt is generally thin, irregular, and with any conspicuous joints. Many a times the top. Yeah, you can hear me, I think. So any problem, you can call me. Okay, so Ajanta joints have played a vital role. Okay, from the point of view of rock cut architecture, if you take into consideration, so what one has to study the nature of joints, the concentration of chlorophyte in the thin flows, then the siliceous veins, then the traversing basaltic flows, the density of vesicles should also be understood, and the presence of tachylitic bands. And these are some of the important physical parameters what I feel which need to be considered while understanding the geoarchitecture of rock cut caves, then one can go ahead. See, if only if you apply pure geology, which is highly technical, which Karmarkar sir has done, B.M. Karmarkar sir, but one should also have the basic idea of art history as well. So both should go hand in hand. For example, in a good rock, I will not go for the properties of good or bad rock right now. One should know what is a good rock and what is a bad rock if you know the properties of the rock. And in that, in a good rock, very crude images have been made. At the same time, in a bad rock, so beautiful images have been made. We'll be seeing, we'll go slightly fast. So this is cave number 1 at Ajanta. Once it had a pillared portico like cave number 19. So there was a fissure here. And how do you know that it was a pillared portico? Here is the remnant. You can see the remnant of the pillar. And here also you can see very clearly. It's an old photograph. So definitely there was a pillared portico just because of the fault. You can say a flaw in the rock. There was a fissure, they said. When I asked to an eminent geologist, he said there was a fissure and because of that it has crumbled down. Let us go slightly fast. So here the river is an additional boon. I think so far known, Ajanta has got a river, Wagora River. Then we have Bag Caves, that is in Madhya Pradesh. And we have Panale Kaji in Konkan. So river flows, that is an additional boon for the monks or whoever was dwelling in the caves at a given time. So let's and then why caves are not in the straight line? This is cave number 4 at the upper level and cave number 5. Why caves are not all in one straight line? Because there are rooms inside for the monks in the veranda. So they'll bang into each other. So that's why they have made it up and down. That is one of the reason. That is the main reason you can say. If you had very close, then you cannot have rooms there. Okay. So the interior of the cave number 5, like this is cave number, sorry, this is cave number 5 below. And from interior, if you see, is still to be cut. So cave number 3, 5, 24, 28, and 29. These are totally incomplete caves at this site. So there's an historical evidence why these caves remain unfinished, which Professor Spink, Walter Spink, he gives in one of his volumes. He's written 6 volumes in 60 years of time. So in short, there's an historical evidence, not because of the rock. So some of the art historians, very eminent art historians, when they go inside the cave, they say, "Oh, the rock is bad," which is totally wrong. The rock is very good, and you can see the chisel marks. What is required for cutting the rocks? You require only chisel and hammers, and different sizes and shapes of hammers and chisel. Now you see a good rock, very fine-grained rock at Ajanta, cave number 19 facade. It's a guardian figure. See, the rock is also good and the artist. Example of good rock and good artist. Now coming back, now coming to cave number 15, you have these lava flows, okay, known as the Paho flows. When Sudha Wadadi and we discussed, she said these are Paho flows and not Aha flows, which is a Hawaiian terminology. It's a ferromagnesium and dark colored, and they are as basically they are characteristically they are basalt. Okay, from lava flows, and it's the Hawaiian terminology which has been used. So these Paho lava flows are characterized by smooth and gently undulating or broadly humbuckly surfaces you can see. Okay, I'll not go into detail of that, but now these lava flows can be few feet or can also be few meters. But one thing, these people, the craftsmen and the artists, they very well knew the local geology. For example, they have kept the flow high above the ceiling, and only there was a mistake in cave number 4. We'll see that soon. And sometimes they're using this for the floor level as well. So they very well knew the local geology at the site. Now, no cave in India can be studied in isolation. One thing, when you're doing rocket architecture, you cannot study any cave site in isolation. You have to be comparative study. At the same time, you cannot, I mean to say, no cave site has been left incomplete, or we call it as unfinished, because of the rock problem. Okay, so anthropogenic factor is more important, equally important like geology. So here this is Buddha and Pralambha image that is in European posture, we call it as. In books it has been given. So there's a big crack also, and these are all closed joints. Like if you try to break this much piece, this will come out. If you try to break this, will come out. Nothing will remain. So this is above cave number 12, and they have left this incomplete. The reason was just because of the closed jointing. Okay. Then here we have a Tacheti band, cave number 4, Avalokiteshvara, that is saved from the 8 perils of life. He's a say, he say, he's a say, he's going to save. It's called Ashta Mahabhaya. Okay, so here we have a tattoo band on his feet, so they don't bother. Okay, here also going above the head of the female figure, which is on the left side of the image. Let us go slightly fast. Here there was a crack, and maybe in due course of time, not during the course of excavation, in later that crack widened, and you see that crack goes straight on the head of the guardian, on the face, and because of which this is not a case of human vandalism, not at all. And sometimes what they do, make a square hole on the arm, and they fix a wooden hand or maybe by stone, and due course of time it is gone. We have evidences that wood and stone was used very well in most of these sites. Now this is a siliceous veins going on the ceiling. So here you can see the mud plaster. So the mud plaster is gone now, and what is exposed is the silica, that is the quartz. And then you come, they don't bother for the hard, and this is definitely harder than the parent rock. Parent rock is basalt, and this is much harder. They don't give up, they just go on, they fight with the rock. Here again we have chlorophyte enriched zone, and then because of which very sharp crystals you have, and that is all gone in maybe when the site was made after a few centuries, that is all gone. That is chlorophyte plays a very, it's a very bad thing. It will not last for a long time, I would say. Then again flaking has come above cave number 10. The flakes have come, it comes out in the form of flakes. It comes out, so we call it papad sometimes, so it comes out this way, so they have tried to conserve it, ASI. Now this elephant gate, we tell our students like, which elephant would you like? So most of these students, they say we would like the right one, because of the veins going right on the elephant body throughout. And you can see these veins throughout the site. Sometimes they are on the periphery, sometimes they protrude inside. Inside the cave, you'll see. Most of the students, they say they like this elephant. This is an elephant gate which leads to cave number 16 until 26. Anyway, but this is cemented. Totally, this is a ASI cemented conservation work to match with the left one. So this is the original one. This is the conserved one. Okay, fake one, you can say. So then again, mistake of the artist sometime on the pillar capital, one pillar will capital will be small, one will be big. Why? So sometimes there's a flaw, sometimes it's the mistake of the artist as well. Then Nagaraja, who is guarding the whole valley of Ajanta, again you have a tachetic band. Now the terminology varies from professor to professor. Geologist, what I'm going to say, tachetic or red bowl, green bowl, the terms go on changing. They use their own terms, like even Shirsagar sir, he calls something else, whatever it may be. So what they do here, with mud or maybe stone or wood, they and then they worship it. Okay, but in due course of time it is gone, definitely. Now one more important thing, according to Mohs scale of hardness, this rock goes above 5 to 6, it can be the hardness. So here I've given the hardness. So in being such a hard rock, basalt is not very soft. It's not like shale or I mean to say a talc or something, so or even like chloride schist. So but then intricate carving can be done in this hard rock. Much harder is granite, I know, but then in basalt is also not very soft. So the hardness will be 5 to 6. So beautiful intricate carving can be noticed on the pillar capitals and pilasters, you can see. Now this is highly jointed, cave number 8, which is the lowest at the site. And inside water had rushed, and the water was there for several centuries, because of which all the walls, everything had collapsed. Okay, now sometimes the artist will adjust the veins, the siliceous veins. Sometimes they try to adjust, sometimes they go on the eyes. I mean to say, they don't worry about it. Okay, because most of the images at the site were plastered and painted. Now here I was telling you all how in Ajanta doorways you have river goddesses, we call it, standing on makara. This is a makara. Stylized makara means crocodile. So here there was a flaw in the rock. So what they did, they made 3 holes and they put a wooden figure, which is very much sure, because here there is a big hole, and here again there are small holes, pinholes to hold that image. So they don't give up. I mean to say, since there was a flaw, they had put. And how do you know wood was used? In cave number 11, even 5th century wood is there. This is a door fitting. If you put your fingers inside, this is very smooth. Okay. So this wood is 5th century. Still, it is in C2. C2 means still existing, luckily. Okay. Now coming to this, we have sometime there are rock fall from the upper cliff, and because of which this veranda has fallen. We don't know exactly when, because we know Ajanta only until 7th century AD or 8th century, you can say. After that, nobody knew. It was rediscovered by John Smith in 28th of April, 1819, 1819. Okay. Who came for hunting. I'll not go into that right now, but then this whole thing collapsed because of the rockfall. The rockfall or landslide is not like what we find in Shivaliks, but you have big boulders coming down like these at Aurangabad, you see, coming from top, and it has come right on the stairs, when you walk from the stage, it may fall on your head also someday. So one has to be careful, particularly in the monsoon. There's a rock fall, this is from Aurangabad. It happens at Ajanta also. And again, as I told, there was a cavity, cave number lower 6. There's only cave which has got double story, cave lower 6 and upper 6. Only one cave which is double story. There was a big cavity here, so they have filled it with dress stones. And again at Pitalkhora you have, how do you know? Because the plaster has fallen down, has come out. It doesn't mean that we should peel off all the paintings and see whether there are cavities. No need. But here is an example. Again, here at Pitalkhora, you have dressed stones. The plaster is gone. They had plastered, thin plaster. And in due course of time, you can see now what you can see is the dressed stones. Okay. So what I mean to say is they don't give up as such. Now is the mistake of the artist. If you make a circumference, make a circle, it is definitely going to cut down the cell. If you, this is the artificial which I've made, this is going to cut down. It's gone. So what did they did? You know what they did was, here they made a small notch on both the sides. This one you can't see clearly. So they put a stone plank, a stone piece, I mean to say, a slab, and from that stone slab over that they put a very thin plaster and they painted over it. Okay, that is what they did. 100% we know it, sure. So now these are the Falconites. So cave number 19, right wing we call it as. These are pipe amygdales you see, and this is a very weak zone you can see. Sometimes this comes in between two lava flows. This comes between two lava flows as well. Okay, so that is a weak zone actually. And but was it like that during the course of execution? No, it happened later on. And then again, as I told you, that what they do is they just plaster it and they paint over it. Again, going through the eyes, they don't bother about it. Again, cave number which we have already seen, cave number lower 6. Let me go slightly fast. From the most important anatomical features also, going through the breast also, this is a beautiful image, a masterpiece called as Shukabhashini. She's talking with a parrot, cave number 26, left wing. uh, I'm sure about that. And then we have Nagaraja. Now here comes geology also as well. These vesicles, they are empty or filled with secondary minerals known as falconites. So during cleaning process, chemical cleaning, they come out. I don't know, chemical conservation, when they do that falconite, they come out. These are green. This is the closer view, which are filled with secondary minerals. Okay. So this is Nagini. Now, this is a real masterpiece. Okay. So still, and one more important, they are not jointed together. The vesicles are not jointed together. They are far away. That's why it becomes very easy to carve. And then here this comes, here is the iconography. What you can say is, iconography, what we said was 1 minute. So here iconography changes like, I don't know how you close this 1 minute. Okay. हे नावं जात नाहीत. So it's chiefly determined by textual. See, iconography like Vishnu Dharmottara Purana says that you should do this way, how you paint it, how you make the sculptures. So that is all theoretically. And also the present doctrine also tells us no, the iconography should be like this. So it was Professor Spink for the first time says, cave number 19. All the images in front of each other are similar, except this one. He was supposed to be Buddha, Lord Buddha, that into a his hand should be here somewhere on the chest, below the chest. So that is called Dharma Chakra Pravartana Mudra. But now he's into Abhaya Mudra, boon giving. Why? Because there's a flaw in the rock. Okay. So they could not make it here, because of which they made it into Abhaya Mudra. That is a simple truth. All the images front each are very similar to each other. They're just exact, except this one is not. Just opposite to that is in a Dharma Chakra Mudra. That is teaching attitude. Now some of these scholars, they say that the incrustations at Ajanta and even many other places which are colorful, they made paint out of it and they painted Ajanta because of these encrustations, which is quite hard. But one thing we did experiment, they are not soluble in any of these solvents. So that can be ruled out. So they were using natural earth for painting, that lamp black and then again lime and many other things which are not good. Then we have zeolites and we have crystals which you find in this basaltic a volcanic, I mean to say rock, that is basalt, which can be different varieties as well. Okay. And this is ropey lava, which the major flaw at Ajanta or many other sites is the ropey lava. And that is the red and green bowl. Whereas these minor flaws, what you say, the siliceous veins or I mean to say the tachetic bands or the cavities or the chlorophyte enriched zone, they did not bother about it at all. Now this is from cave number 4, and this is the original height of the ceiling We have chisel marks. Let me go slightly fast. This is the interior of cave number 4. This was the original height of the ceiling. And one fine morning, Professor Spink says some portion fell down, quite likely. And then they removed the dangerous rock and they increased the height of the ceiling. You can see this pillar, and you can see a pillar towards the shrine. This is much higher. So they raised up the ceiling. Okay. So this is a major flaw, geological flaw, you can say. The interior of cave number 24. Here we counted there were about 95 people, 94 people working. They were rushing toward the shrine. This is an old photograph of the same exterior, and the veranda is very well made. This is the shrine partition, two people working side by side. How much rock you excavate, that much you were paid. And this is, you should have a working platform. So they were standing on this. From the ceiling, they come down and slowly they go to the floor level. And these are the alleys where one person is working here. You can count how many people were working at a given time. So we calculate it was 94 plus minus 4, 5. So the intention is to make Lord Buddha, the image, or maybe a stupa in the Chaitya hall. This is a vihara. So all the pillars are incomplete. At the same time, one fellow has already started decorating the pillar. You can see. So it's a simultaneous work, and it is possible that in 25 years of time, the cave can be done. So this is again the same thing which I was showing you. This is the shrine where they were going. I don't know why I put it second time. And here people thought because of earthquake, the maybe the pillars fell down. It is not like that. It was the debris which was accumulated for several centuries and intermingled with rainwater and debris and acidic water because of acids, and the rock became fragile. And when the during the Nizams of Hyderabad, they said the officer is going to come and visit the site, just clean the site. So they threw all the pillars into the valley. Clean the site means they thought to throw all the images also they threw all the fallen pillars into the valley. Okay, now here in inscriptions, what happened? You have a tachitic band, cave number 26. I'll not go into the detail of the inscription, but you have a tachitic band. So sometimes they fill with some minerals, or sometimes what they do is what? Or they just leave that much line. This is at Kaneri, they have filled it because letters are missing. They filled with some other material and they write over it inscriptions. Okay. Now here, conventionally, cave number 11 at Ajanta, there should be a cell for the monk. On opposite side also you have a cell for the monk. That is a room for the monk to stay. But if you see, there is no place. If you try to make a cell here, you will fall into cave number 10. So what they did instead of that, they made two steps and made one more cell here, which is not true for any other caves at the site. I mean to say they have not done only except for cave number 11. Conventionally, as I said, the cell should be opposite to each other. So instead of that, what they made, made use of this wall by making Buddha images. Now coming to Pitalkhora, the rock is, they are, I mean to say, uh, it's not a very good quality rock, though it is basalt. So these are all, agglomerates, you can say, and we'll go into that slowly. So here the main problem is red and green bowl. If you see, there's all green and red bowl. But what did they? They plastered and they stayed. They made a small niche also. They made use of these cells. Okay, then this is a case of human vandalism. During my PhD in 1998, this was very much there, and later on they have defaced this image, which is it's a case of human vandalism as well. One can very well understand human vandalism and natural weathering as well. Now this is, I'll tell you, this is in one of the one first group at Aurangabad. The lower portion has gone. If you see very clearly, very closely, I mean to say, then here also there was debris for centuries together, and when ASA protected, they removed the debris along with they took away the legs as well. They removed the legs as well because it was very fragile. So here you can come to know that this is because of the natural it has gone, not due to, I mean to say, because of human vandalism. Now here Professor Karmarkar sir, and they said that because of I mean to say what proper geological studies they have done, where because of weathering this whole portion has gone because this is exposed to the sky, almost to the sky. It's in the veranda, but they don't understand. I don't criticize, but I mean to say they never understood that there was an attendant. Buddha will never have one single attendant. He'll have two attendants on either side. Okay. So the attendant, it's not the rock which is weathered. It is the attendant itself has gone from there because of weathering. Okay. Now we come to this. So geologically, I mean to say they have mapped as Ratangad formation. Now this is I mean to say this is Mumbai where you have Jogeshwari. When you talk about Ajanta, then that is, they call it as Ratangad formation. So where, and here what you see, different formations of basalt alluvium and acid variants. You have these tidal swamps also, and concentration of these caves will be Jogeshwari, Mandapeshwar, Kaneri. Kaneri is here, Mandapeshwar. So they are all agglomerates. They are pyroclastic, and if you see, they are mafic also. You'll have mafic districts. So here at Jogeshwari, you have ashy beds, ash beds. You can see Jogeshwari is the first Hindu cave in Mumbai, very close to railway station, Jogeshwari. So there is a ash. You have ashy formation. The rock is very bad. Now you may ask me if the rock is bad when they understood. Why did they make? So sometimes it is a cult site. Cult site means they desperately wanted it. So here at Jogeshwari, you have beautiful dwarpalas in spite of a bad rock. As I told you, I'll not go into the properties of that. They made beautiful lakulisha as well. The lakulisha is here on top, and see the weathering action which has taken place. And they come out in the form of granules. Okay, and again the pigeons which has got sharp nails. So just flying, take off and landing much rock is, but it will take thousands of years to completely deteriorate the whole cave. So beautiful guardian figures you have, though the rock is bad, but the artist is good. Okay, coming to Mandapeshwar, the Portuguese in one way, they were very bad in one way or the other. Like for example, they destroyed some of the temples also in Goa, and also they converted this Mandapeshwar, which is a Shiva Hindu cave. They made a church. You see, they made a church and also a structure, and they removed the Hindu image from here. I don't remember which image, and they made a Jesus Christ cross. Okay, and then you have a beautiful Nataraja dancing Shiva, and this is because of salt weathering. Because once upon a time sea was very close. It is said. How do you know? Because you have the sea shells in some of the caves. They are embedded or they are attached to the rock. And very few caves have those sea shells. They are not river shells, but they are sea shells. And definitely, according to Professor Rajguru sir, he says the sea was very close. Uh, this because this dates to, I think, so first, second century AD, 2000 year before present. Okay, now the peripheral rock most of the time at Elephanta is very bad, but as you go in, enter into it, the rock becomes better and better. So the Portuguese, just to please the officers, they used cannons, small cannons they used, and they banged some of the images and broke. Okay, this is, when the site was not protected. Okay, so just to please the officer, they used these cannons and to blow away, and that is what they did, and not to blow away, it was to show the echo, how the cave echoes. And it's a literary evidence we have, because 16th century we have the evidences. Now we have porphyritic basalt also. As I told you, rock is not homogeneous, it is heterogeneous. We have compact, we have very fine grained basalt, we have porphyritic basalt also. And this is a case of human vandalism. Dancing Shiva, we can very well know the cuts, cut marks and all that. It is not natural weathering or something like that. Now this is a beautiful image taken by my father, used by MTDC. They were using this image, very fine grain basalt, and the artist is excellent. During the Kalachuri period, the date is 550 AD. Sirka we call it as. Now we come to Kondivte. Kondivti also called as Mahakali. Okay, here also is they are all I mean to say agglomerates, you can say. Okay, and then here they call it as volcanic bombs. But this is a doorway. How the doorway will be? Will it be like this? No. So they don't bother to remove it. These volcanic bombs. But in spite of that, you have a beautiful Buddha seated Buddha image in Padmasana with Makara Torana and with two attendants on either side. And then when you come, you have a stupa inside. This is how the wall is here today also. And you have this, I mean to say, when the lava flows, it carries so many sediments along with it. Okay, it's more of geology. Not, I won't go into that right now. So, and again, the hill is very small. I mean to say, not more than 15 to 18 feet in height. Okay, now Canary Cave number 3. The rock is very good. This is Professor Dhaulikar, sir. Just to show the height of the image, we have to make someone to stand. Okay, this gives you the scale. The rock is excellent. Okay, so at the same time, what I mean to say here was artist is also very excellent, eminent artist. Here, as I told you, how wooden images were used, or how wood is used, or how stone is used. Canary Cave number 93. So here they could not do anything. They just made a cavity, because here the area was, there was a flaw in the rock, and this is a hollow. So Buddha seated in Padmasana on a lion throne with two chauri bearers, fly whisk we call it as, and they put a wooden image, which is very much true, because once at even at Mandapeshwar we found a wooden image. Okay, now here also you see Kaneri, they are not bothered to remove this hanging rock. Okay, because once you remove it, no need. The intention is what? The caves are made for religious purpose, not for entertainment or something. The purpose is religious, whether it is Hindu, Buddhist, or Jain, or Nathpanthis, whatever it may be. So they want to rush and make the images first, particularly in the shrine. So they are not bothered to remove. And this plays a very important role, and which is a major flaw in rock cut architecture. Particularly, you find cave number 8 at Ajanta, which is washed away. This is, and then I'll give you an example here. Cave number 19. The rooms will not be like this for the monks. This is the red bowl you see at Junnar, cave number 19. Lenedri we call Ganesh Lena. Will, and there is a door fitting. You can have a door fitting. So will they stay like this? You have a rocket bench for sleeping. So this is a conjectural picture which I have made. Conjectural means how it would have been. What they do, they can construct with stone or with brick. Okay, let us go. Now, a cave, a Chaitya hall will have three doorways, or maybe have single doorway, the central doorway, and two doorways on either side for circumambulation. That is Pradakshana Patha, we call it as. But what happened was when they cut this perforated window, this one here, which was similar to this symmetrically, you can see the Sanchi railing pattern has been cut here. But then they realize when they go inside, the pillars are coming in the way. So they gave up making a doorway here again. Doorways are made at Ajanta cave number, I mean to say 26 has got two doorways. Karla caves has got two doorways on either side for circumambulation. We call it as Pradakshina Patha. So there it was a mistake. Like when they cut this one, they realized, oh, the pillars are coming in the way. So let us keep this as it is. Okay. So observation. So one thing in rocket architecture is observation, several times observation, then thinking, and then you can start writing over it, whatever you want. So I'll not go into the detail of this, as I told you that the how geology plays a vital role. Now these are the type, I mean to say, different type of basalts which are weathered, and whether it is plagioclase, pyroxene. So we have taken microscopic thin sections of all these 8 sites, 5 plus 3, 5 from Aurangabad, I mean to say Mumbai group, and 3 from Ajanta region, or Aurangabad region, you can say. So volcanic breccias, you have carnarias. I told you they're heterogeneous in nature. Okay. And they are not homogeneous, as I told you. Yogeshwar, you have pyroclastic agglomerates you have. And and then again, what are the dating which I have given, like, okay, and again the rainfall and degree of preservation, how much to degree, what degree they have been preserved very well. Okay, Elephanta has got compact, as I told you, and amygdaloidal as well. So these are the, I mean to say, these thin sections, and very little, very sometime, very rarely you may find, I mean to say, olivine will be there, very less. Otherwise, they are not, they are altered minerals sometimes. Okay, sometimes there is no alteration seen. Now coming, as Vartak sir told me, why don't you show some of the images of different rock types? This is at Udaygiri and Khandagiri in Bhubaneswar, 6 kilometers away from the town. It's a sandstone outcrop, and you have some border-like thing as well. So they dates to first century BC during the Kharavela region. Then you come to Gwalior, also made in sandstone. Okay, it was very late, 9th, 10th century AD. Then you come to Bagh Caves, that is in Madhya Pradesh, the Lamita beds, what we call it as. And then what happens here is that too much of weathering has taken place. The paintings here, and it is contemporary to Ajanta Caves, 5th century AD. And then I'll not go into the history of it. Like the artists, they moved from Ajanta, came to Bagh Caves. So the paintings have been kept in National Museum. Some of them have been preserved. They have removed and kept it. Now coming to Aravalum, this is Aravalum that is in Goa. It is in laterite, a very good quality of laterite you can see here. And it's a Hindu cave. Sometime it was a controversy that Buddhist caves have been converted, but it was not deliberately. At some places in Konkan, you see, it was given, it was abandoned. Nobody was there. No man's land, no man's property. So people came and made their own images as well. Like in Junnar, we have the Jain Amba Ambika cave is there, where the Jainas came and they made their own images, and Konkan also. But if you do it today, you'll be put behind the bars because they are protected now. You can't do anything. Now this is a same, when you say this is a beautiful variety, a very good hard rock laterite you see, but here is a very poor quality of laterite in Kharosa. Kharosa is near Latur. So in spite of that, they have made a dancing Shiva. The pillars are weathering, because, and the rock, as I tell you, is very fragile, and and that's why weathering takes place fast. But if you see, sandstone weathers very fast. We know that. This is for the students. I'm telling this. Sandstone will weather fast. Laterite may weather a little bit, but then granite will last for a long time. Basalt will long. Depends on the mineral contents as well. Okay, so I'll not read into this, as I told you all. So what I've learned from these two eminent scholars, one is my father on the left side, and Professor Spink, and my guru Rajguru sir, right from my graduation while doing photographic work. I've studied from them, and Professor Spink is trying to teach me at the site. So right from 1975 onwards, first I was not very serious, but slowly I took into this. And this is what I would like to say in short. I did not go more into geology of it, but then very randomly, because time is short. So you can ask me any questions if you want. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. Thank you to all the teachers and the organizers as well. To Uday sir, who taught me geology in 1980-82, and Vartak sir as well. Any difficulty, I go to Khan sir, I go to Sudha Wadadi. Okay, so thank you very much once again.
It was a fantastic lecture. And Shrikant, that shows how much in depth you have studied geology. And that too, rocket caves have been really studied in a very nice way by you for last 25, 22 years. Now, I would request uh, staff member Anish from geology department to give word of thanks. It was excellent lecture, Shrikant.
Yeah, but any questions are there, I'll be happy to
Yes,
answer one or two, three questions.
Questions?
Excuse me,
Yes,
can
sir.
I ask a question?
Yes, yes,
It
why
is
not?
not a
Please, sir.
Yeah.
question. I am Amit Dharwadkar
Yes, yes.
from Raipur.
Yes, sir.
It is just a query.
Yes, sir.
You have some similar studies done on the forts of Shivaji in Maharashtra,
Yeah.
as well as the Pataleshwar caves in Pune
Yes, yes.
and around Pune. Uh,
Pataleshwar and which one?
on that this thing Jangli Maharaj Road, that
Yeah, I know
Pataleshwar
Pataleshwar.
temple.
I know. Pataleshwar has been done. It's a Hindu cave dated to 8th century AD, and it is incomplete. The rock is excellent, no doubt. But then, what is the reason? See, sometimes the reason is lack of funds, and sometimes they are moving to different place, or sometimes there's a war between two. I mean to say, a feudatory kings. Sometimes it happens like that. And what is our duty, particularly me and my friends who are working on rocket caves, we try to study from different aspects. First thing you should know why the cave is left incomplete. For Ajanta, there was a war between Ashmakas and Rishikas. That is a historical event. And we know that has been very thoroughly studied by Professor Spring, by Dhaulikar sir, and by Jamkhedkar sir as well. So, but you mean to say about Pataleshwar, the rock is excellent, no doubt.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, Jadhav Sahab.
Yes, sir.
Excellent talk, excellent exposition. I think your work should get more what you call
Exposure.
exposure or popularity, so that when people next time go to see such caves, they
Yes,
go with a different frame
but
of mind.
yes, sir.
It will be very, very helpful. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
For
sir. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Yeah,
Amti sir.
yeah, one this thing. Dr. Zava, it was excellent presentation.
Thank you, sir.
It was only a little bit of rushing over.
Yes, sir. Please, please. We
Yeah,
have time. We have 7 minutes more.
yeah. We have got 7 minutes.
So instead of voter thanks, I'll be happy that somebody asks. I'll also understand something.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So no need of vote of thanks. You have already thanked me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the queries, see,
Yeah.
we have got number of rock cut caves and all that, whether it is
Yeah.
Ajanta, Ellora, or Udaygiri,
Yes.
Khandagiri, and
Yes.
as well
Yeah.
as in
Yeah.
Mumbai.
Yeah.
Now, how many of these caves
Yes.
have been dated,
Uh,
radiometrically dated? Can you,
ah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that is more precise age dating of these caves we can get
Yes.
rather than the
Yeah.
historical
Yeah.
perspectives and all that.
I will tell you. I will tell you, sir. It's called chronology of this site of all the caves. Chronology. You know how you know? We call in archaeology we say absolute dating and relative dating. Absolute means scientific dating, and relative means comparative dating. Like how do you know? Scientific means if there's an inscription, we know that script very well. So like Marathi, Hindi, or maybe English, how students read, they can read this script very well. Okay. So at the same time, uh, comparative means from a taken model like which is the first one. There's a development of rocket architecture right from the beginning till the end. There's always a development. So development of the arch, development of the pillars, development of the stupa. Definitely development of the stupa. If you go to Bhaja, it's a very simple stupa. When you go at other places, if you go to Ellora cave number 10, it is highly elaborate with so many images coming, but here it is very plain. So how you compare from cave to cave? So approximate 10, 15, or 5 years plus minus will be there, not much, because this is historical thing. See, geological timetable, you see millions of years. That rock
So,
Ajanta is 65 million years before
slight
present.
interruption
Yeah,
in this one.
yeah,
Uh,
sorry.
I
Yeah.
mean,
So
that might
rock,
be the relative terminologies.
relative dating we call relative.
I'm
See,
not more interested precisely in whether radiometric dating have been carried
no, yes, dating has been very well done
out.
by Dhaulikar sir, by Suresh Yadav, by
How
Walter
those
Spring.
how those dating ages
Ah,
relate with this our relative aging dating, or are there any comparative
No,
study.
we are doing comparative study of each and every cave. See, I told you, no cave can be studied in isolation. Even if you're studying Ajanta, and Ajanta, as I told you, one life is very small to study all the aspects of rock cut architecture. Professor Spring did 6 volumes. He was writing the seventh one. He passed away at the age of 91. He was going to study the Mumbai group of caves, comparing it with Ajanta. But at the age of 91, for 60 years he studied Ajanta caves, but he could not complete. So I mean to say, one life is very small to study all the aspects. Okay. So here I understand what you want to say. How do you date the caves? It is a comparative study.
No, no, which
Okay.
method
Uh,
of the dating has been used?
yeah. I told you now from the
From radiometric dating,
no, radiometric dating you
I'm
can't do.
asking about the specific radiometric dating, whether it has been carried out radiometric dating. We have
No,
a
no,
number of
no.
radiometric dating.
Radiometric rating will give you the age of the rock. I'll
Huh?
give you, but it will
No,
not give you the
yeah,
age
that's
of
right.
the cave. See, example like the cave. I'll tell you one very good example. I understand what you want to say. See, Ajanta, that those is the age of that rock is 65 million years before present, whereas the caves are made just 20 to 100 years before present. See the difference. But now you will get the age of fission track dating, whatever they're using. You will get the age of the rock, but you will
No,
not
no.
get the
Age
when
of
the
the
cave
rock
was
is
made.
okay.
Okay.
No, no, I will rephrase my list.
Yeah.
You have told that now at number of places, some
Huh.
wooden blocks have been put
Huh.
during those.
What has been put?
Wooden blocks can be used for the carbon dating purposes.
Carbon dating you will do it only if there's a wood. Okay. If there,
You
yeah.
mentioned some wooden portions are still there. No?
Yeah, but see what happens, when the wood was cut and when it was used, again a question mark. For
Mm.
example, if you find a coffin, you find a burial, that is a dead skeleton, you find a body. Okay. So when he was buried, you will not know. You'll know the date of the wood when the date of the wood you'll get. But when that wood was cut, the tree was cut, we don't know. You understand? So that is the difference. So there is no point studying, I mean to say dendrochronology will be of no use when you study these rock cut caves. You understand? Like for example, Karla cave has got an umbrella which is lasting there for more than 2000 years. If you cut that and make a thin section and see the dendrons, then what will happen? You will get the date of the I mean to see the wood. But when it was seasoned, when it was cut, it will be difficult. Am I right, sir? I don't know.
Good,
Somebody
good.
can, yeah,
And
somebody can, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Shrikant,
Yes, sir.
Ayusha Kate, she wants to know,
Yeah, please.
in Kedareshwar temple, how come only one pillar is standing in the cave and all other three pillars, have they
Huh.
been weathered
No,
in
which I have not seen.
Kedareshwar?
I've not seen that cave. Kedareshwar, I don't remember where it is now,
Okay,
right
okay.
now.
ठीक है, ठीक
But then
है.
see what happened. What
I'll
happened?
ask
Yes,
the
yeah,
I'll ask the question
yeah,
who has asked that question, Ayusha
yeah,
Kate. I'll ask
yeah.
her to call you on email. Huh?
Okay, yeah, yeah. She. Actually, one more thing I forgot to tell you, sir. One very important thing which I forgot. That is the pillars in rocket architecture. They are for decoration purpose, and they don't give support to the ceiling. They
Okay,
never
right.
give
Right.
support to the ceiling.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
cave number 12, they have made, because there are many cracks. Ajanta cave number 12, they have made RCC pillars. The age of the cement will be only 100 years. We know the age of cement. So
Yeah.
pillars, see, if you go to Khandala Ghat, I mean, so when you travel for the train, are there any pillars in the tunnel? There are no pillars in the tunnel. So pillars in rocket architecture are just for decoration or for circumambulation, the Buddha image or the stupa. Am I right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they never
Okay.
give support to the ceiling.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Shrikant.
Thank you, sir.
Now,
Thank
I
you.
would request Anish Soman to
Yeah.
give his vote of thanks.
Thank
Please.
you, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Just
was
1 second,
indeed
sir.
a privilege, sir.
Just give me
All
one
other
minute.
If someone
questions,
talking,
I request
Uh,
everybody.
yeah,
All other
Dr.
questions
Anish,
can be asked later on because we have got
sir,
another
1 minute.
speaker
This
now.
is Dr. Nicole
yeah,
Sequeira
yeah.
Okay.
from
Yeah,
Goa
yeah, yeah.
University. So I just wanted to announce that I have pasted a link in the chat box for
Mm.
the feedback form and the certificate issue.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the participants may kindly fill that form and they will be issued the e-certificate for
Mm.
attending the course. So participants kindly do the needful. You will be issued the certificate. If there is any issue, kindly contact me on my email address. I am putting that in the chat box as well.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, madam. Very important
Thank
it
you, ma'am.
was. Srikant, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So
Yeah,
it's done, I
ma'am.
think. Yeah.
Okay, it was indeed a privilege, sir, to hear
Yes,
you.
sir.
And I thank Dr. Shrikant Zadhav for this enriching and informative lecture on uh, topic rock cut architecture. It was a tour through history, civilizations, and architectural development with emphasis on geology. So the geology students who are listening to this, I can see many are here, and they must have really got a different perspective to look at the caves. I thank you for delivering the lecture on the occasion of Earth Science Week 2025. I'm thanking on behalf of Maharashtra Vruksha Samvardhini, Department of Geology, Ferguson College, Pune, Department of Geology, Savitribai Phule, Pune University, and School of Earth, Ocean, and Atmospheric Sciences, Goa University. Thanks a lot, sir, for sparing time and
Yeah.
delivering the lecture.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all of you all who listened very patiently. I went very fast because I don't know what to say. I want to tell more and more and more. So
Okay.
anyway, so
You would have
I thank my teacher Uday sir and Uday Kulkarni sir and Ajit Vartak sir
the
who thought that I'll be do good. I may speak good. They thought like that. I don't know. So have a nice time. Thank you
you
very
had a
much,
very
sir.
short time,
Yeah.
Srikant. So
Yes, sir.
we will have
Yes.
another interaction with you
Yeah.
sometime later.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Thank you very
Now,
much, sir.
friends, we have another very good talk on different aspects of geology in Antarctica by Deputy Director General Amit Darwadkar. He had been to Antarctica and North Pole, both, and that too Antarctica 8 times and once for North Pole. So he is one who has visited both the poles, and he'll be giving his speech. It's a nice occasion that we started off with a lecture which was related to Antarctica, and now we have got another speaker who is working on Antarctica, who has worked on Antarctica, and you'll be happy whatever Darwadkar gives us. Friends, I'm happy to tell you that he has won National Geoscience Award in 2017 for whatever geological work he has done in geological aspects. So Amit Darwadkar, please go on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, and a very good evening to everyone. All mm, what you call fans and followers of Sony Saab. Uh, very paternal, very respectful figure for me also. Uh, Despite a short notice, I am not going to give a speech or say something like that, but befitting the occasion, I would just like to convey that I was one of the last students who joined Ferguson College during my graduation, and Soni Saab was there, and my perhaps continuing in geology is because of him. I am proud to say that. Uh, I will just sort of tell what I remember of him, which is not very much exactly, because day to day I can't remember something like 30, 35 years back. But I was really, really impressed when I joined Ferguson College uh, in 1984, I think. And Soni Saab was the head of the department that time. And I was very much in the habit, or you can say it was my passion, to collect stones from everywhere, from around Maharashtra, wherever I used to go, and I used to collect them. Sometimes I used to carry these to the college and show it to sir. Sir used to just see it, and he used to. I was really amazed that time. He used to rattle off the places where you have brought these stones. Yeah, this stone you must have brought from say Chinchwad area. This one from say Ahmednagar area. Once I was really very amazed also. I had been to my maternal home, Azol Jalamtopan. I had been to my maternal home, Aurangabad, and some agate pieces which I had got from there while going to that Bibika Maqbara and other places. And I brought them. When I showed it to him, without even asking anything else, he asked me whether you have brought it from Aurangabad side. So this was his command over geology of Maharashtra. And the same thing happened again when I brought some other stones, particularly some quartzite and other things from Sindhudurg. So I was amazed ki how can this man, without going anywhere, without knowing where I'm coming from, how can he tell ki where I've brought these stones from? And then after I finished my graduation, I went for post graduation Pune University. Later on, I joined Geological Survey of India, and I got this opportunity to participate in Indian Antarctic expeditions. I first time participated in Indian Antarctic expedition, 18th Antarctic expedition, which was done in carried out in 1998. Uh, Later on, subsequently, I went on to carry out, or I participated in around eight Antarctic expeditions. Many of the Antarctic areas I have been to. I don't know whether there is enough time to relay because that subject matter is very vast to convey it. But here, I would like, before going into the geology of the continent, I would just like to inform, particularly the students, that we use the Antarctica continent word very loosely. We don't actually grasp the true significance of Antarctica while using this word. I would just give a few facts about Antarctica. Ki Antarctica is one of the continents, seventh continent we call it, with a vast area. The area of Antarctica is something like 14.2 million square kilometers, which is roughly around five times India's area, the continent area I am talking about, and it is three times America. It is right at the South Pole, and where the polar days and nights, what we refer in our calendars or our panchang as Uttarayan and Dakshinayan, because of this spatial tilt of the Earth's axis, the day polar days and nights are about last about for 6 months. There is 6 months day and 6 months night. During the daytime, the sun never sets down. It is 24 hour by 7 above the horizon. We can see the sun moving in the sky, and it goes in a circular way. Basically, uh, it goes on. In when you are standing at the South Pole, you cannot say that the sun rises in east or sets in west, or it can be in the north, it can be in the south. 24 was by 7, it is on the this thing, on the horizon, over the horizon, and slowly the circumference goes on increasing, and one time comes when it goes below the horizon, and then it remains there for 6 months. So 6 months it doesn't rise only. So those are very special conditions, uh, a little bit difficult to get used to. We have to get used to it. Then the Antarctica continent is covered by a thick sheet of ice. You all must be knowing it. The ice sheet is roughly around, say, 1.2, 1.4 million years old. The average thickness of this ice sheet, average thickness I'm talking about, is 2.5 kilometers. If you go vertically downwards 2.5 kilometers, it will still be in the ice. The highest or thickest ice occurs at around, say, Lake Vostok area, which is exceeding 4 kilometers, four and a half, um, to be precise. Then this ice sheet covers the whole continent like a blanket, basically, and a few tips of the mountains and all rise above the sea as a land. 98% of the continent is covered by ice. This 2% of the land is visible, which we are working on. It is nobody's area. It is no property of any country or anything. It is open to everyone, open only for research, strictly the under the rules and regulations laid down during the Antarctic Treaty System, ATS we call it. And the body which governs the Antarctic research is under the ATS, which is stationed in Argentina. So there are six signatories. We are also a consultative party to the Antarctic Treaty. under which the Antarctic activities are strictly governed and open to monitoring also by any nation. It is a different story altogether. Antarctica, particularly the area where our station is there, we started going to Antarctica 1981 onwards. During 1981, we launched our first expedition to Antarctica, and then it reached in 1982, some January or February, sometime. We were there only for a few days during that time. But since that time, every year one expedition goes to Antarctica, and it comes back. There were several changes during the period of time, right from the first expedition. The earlier the expedition was launched from Goa by sea, and it used to take something like around 25 to 30 days to reach Antarctica. It is surrounded all around by the Southern Ocean, which separates it from all the continents. After a journey of around 25-30 days, then you used to reach Antarctica. This journey now has been reduced to 9 to 10 days, because we fly from here to South Africa, Cape Town, and from there we fly to Antarctica, or we sail from Cape Town to Antarctica. Recently, I have heard, because now I am out of these Antarctic activities of GSI as well as our country. But recently, I heard there was a plane flown from Goa up to Antarctica. So things are changing rapidly with the technological advance. In geological work, Antarctica is very special that way also. It majorly in the area where we are working. We are working in an area called CDML, Central Drowning Mud Land area, where the imprints of two major tectonic events, and rather tectonothermal events, the Grenvillian around say 1 giga years ago, and the Pan African, which is staggered throughout. These two events are prominently recorded in the rocks there, apart from some minor tectonothermal events. This time, I don't think we should go through all the details. It will be a separate matter. Perhaps some other time, in some other this thing, I might also give a lecture. I had given a lecture in the University of Pune on this topic, but it is really a different kind of experience. It is a very harsh land. The coldest naturally occurring temperature was recorded in Antarctica at again the Vostok station, which was minus 89 degrees centigrades. So it is thoroughly cold. The temperatures vary, at least in the coastal regions where our permanent station Maitri is stationed. It varies from say 2 degrees plus during the summer time, I'm saying, to say minus 35 degrees during the winter. So very harsh climate, and because of the severe winters, also in the interior, severe winds, there is no vegetation, there is no fauna, there is no flora in Antarctica, except some ephemeral this thing. Ephemeral fauna is there, which comes up during summer, and then it perishes during the winter. It what you call hibernates. But only there are penguins just along the coastlines. You must have seen in Discovery and other Natural Geographic, National Geographic, other channels. They are really a sight to watch. These penguins I have seen quite closely also. They are not afraid of any other animal. For them, they have not seen any other animal, except at some times in the coastal areas, some seals, some elephant seals or crab eater seals are there. So they are their enemies, but otherwise they are not afraid of human beings. They just are very curious, just like they show in the movies. They come near you, they carry on with their own activities, other things. uh, it is a what you call a very um, different experience, out of the world experience, to be there, to go there. I am very thankful to Government of India, to Geological Survey of India, for taking me there. Also in the Arctic also we have a permanent station, the Himadri, and GSI also gave me an opportunity to visit the third pole, that is Himalayas. I worked a couple of seasons, some 5 6 years in the Ladakh area, Trans Himalayan region. That is also again a very enriching experience where, as a student of geology, you are straddling two tectonic plates. You may be knowing the rise of Himalayas is because the Indian plate went below the Eurasian plate, and you can actually cross on land from one plate to another. Only the geologists can appreciate the significance of this, because other people go there as tourists. Uh, the actual evidences of this subduction and other things, they are also very interesting. Something which was there, say fossiliferous rocks or in the Tethyan Ocean, which were 4 or 5 kilometers below the sea level, are now exposed 5 kilometers above the mean sea level. So you can see, or you can imagine what kind of force must have been required to bring that 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers travel for the rocks, for inanimate objects. It is really an experience. I'm thankful to GSI to give me that experience. And I think that's all. I cannot elaborate more. I wanted to show some slides also, but today was a working day for me. I just came back from office, so I cannot show some slides. But I again thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to interact with you, to talk with you. Uh, if you are interested in Antarctica expeditions and other things, our government does encourage people also, research students also, to participate. There is an organization called NCPOR, National Center for Polar and Ocean Research in Goa, under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, which carries out these expeditions. There you can get, if you put the NCPOR in Google, you will get to know about their site, and there you will know about all their programs and their activities also. So you can also explore whether you can participate if you are interested or not. But it is definitely tough. It is not as hunky dory as it shows. It is being shown in Discovery and other things. The hardships are also there. The risks are also there. Uh, you have to be on your toes throughout when you are there. There are no medical facilities available. There is nothing indigenous. There are no indigenous population in Antarctica. So everything has to be carried from here. And of course, you get along, get the experience, get the thrill. I wish you all the best. Thanks once again for all the organizers. Kulkarni sir, I'm meeting after a very long time, because we were together. I will not say I was his student, because I studied my graduation in Ferguson, but I was his colleague, the junior most colleague at that time, for a very small duration, and we had really good time. He actually held my hand and carried me through teaching profession. Vartak sir is also a very good friend, and Sham sir and Devgavkar sir, I remember all of them. Oak madam, uh, I really miss those days. Wish to catch up later also. Thank you very much, everyone.
You had a very short time and short notice also was given to you, but still you accepted that. And it was very excellent description of whatever you are doing in the field of geology. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Amit. Now it's time for Ajit Vartak sir to give word of thanks for whatever we have done. And please, those who are interested in all these expeditions or even asking some questions to Srikant Jadhav, please join him on his email address that will be given. And especially for those who have to fill up the forms, please take this seriously and fill the forms so that the certificates can be issued to you. Over to Dr. Vartak sir for word of thanks. Thank you.
As we come to the conclusion of this enriching 3-day lecture series held in celebration of Earth Science Week 2025 on the occasion of Professor P.V. Soni birth centenary year, it is my honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks. This event was organized by Maharashtra Vriksha Samvardhini Pune along with Department of Geology, Ferguson College Autonomous, Pune, Department of Geology, Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune, and School of Earth and Ocean and Atmospheric Sciences, Goa University, Goa. A special feature about Earth Science Week 2025 is that Professor Jerry Lips, who inaugurated the event, and Dr. Amit Dharwadkar, who concluded it, both are associated with the study of Antarctica for many years. Our special thanks to Professor Jerry Lips for his sparing his valuable time and joining early morning to inaugurate this Earth Science Week 2025. And a very special thanks to Dr. Amit Dharwadkar for sparing time from his busy schedule for his concluding remarks. All our guest speakers, Mr. Arvind Auti, Professor Stanley Brune, Dr. Srikant Jadhav, deserve special appreciation for their willingness to participate and share their knowledge with us. Your lectures have not only educated us, but have also sparked deeper questions and curiosity in our minds. Special thanks to Mr. Arvind Auti for giving some latest information about rare earth elements on the second day also. On a special note, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Niranjan Ghate sir, Dr. Sanjeev Nalawade, Mr. Aniruddha Soni, Mr. Kaustubh Mudgal, Dr. Nikhil, Geology Department, Goa University, Dr. Devdatta Upasne, Head of the Department, Department of Geology, Ferguson College, Dr. Bhavana Umrikar, Head, Geology Department, Savitribai Phule Pune University, and Mr. Sharat Patak and Mrs. Manik Patak from Maharashtra Vriksha Samvardhani, all the team members of Maharashtra Vriksha Samvardhani, Geology Departments of Ferguson College, Savitribai Phule Pune University, and School of Earth and Ocean Atmospheric Sciences, Goa University, for their support and assistance in organizing this event. No program can be successful without audience. In that regard, we have been extremely fortunate with the overwhelming response received. So thank you for participation. Let us carry forward the knowledge we have gained and remember that earth science is not just an academic subject. It is a call to action for the future of our planet. Thank you, and let us continue to explore, question, and protect the world we call home. All these 3 lectures are available on our YouTube channel Mission Day-3. Please visit our YouTube channel. We have more than 200 recorded lectures on various subjects related to nature. Please subscribe our YouTube channel Mission Day-3. With this, we conclude this evening session and Earth Science Week 2025. Thank you.
From all of us, Vartak sir, it was your efforts that made this sessions, all sessions successful. All your hard work has paid you. So we thank you all.
Madam, please close.
Thank you all. Thank you very much
Yeah.
for the wonderful
Wonderful lectures.